This time in You Break It, You Fix It, we are going to talk about the how and why of tire rotation. Let's get to it. What do you see? I don't know where it is. Welcome back, and if you're new here, I'm Jim Murphy, and this channel is called You Break It, You Fix It. And today we're talking about the how and the why of tire rotation. If you hear a bunch of background noise today, I've got my little fixers with me today, and they're out there banging on their own cars. Tire rotation is common maintenance that's frequently overlooked. And I say frequently overlooked because when I worked on customer cars, that was a very common thing I saw come in where you could tell the tires hadn't been rotated in the entire life of the tire. There's actually a secret reason to rotate your tires, and we'll cover that later in the video. What
are you doing, Dana?
What am I doing? I'm making a video.
Why?
So we can teach people how to fix their cars.
What are these for?
That's the legs of the tripod. Let's leave that there.
What's that?
And that holds the camera up.
What's that part?
This is a little more effective. I have a blast working on stuff with my kids, but a 5-minute job turns into a 5-hour job. Those are hours that I'm going to cherish for the rest of my life, but sometimes I need to lock myself away so I can focus and give you some good information. So as I stated in the beginning of the video, we're going to talk about the why we do it and then the how we do it. The why is always more important than the how. So why do we rotate our tires? Well, if you've been around the channel for a while, you know I am very frugal, I'm very cheap. So for me, I like to get the most tread life out of my tires as I possibly can. All 4 of your tires on all 4 corners of your car wear at a different rate. It doesn't matter side to side, front to back, they all wear at a different rate. So when you rotate your tires, there's a certain procedure that we're gonna jump into the whiteboard. I'll show you because it's different for every type of drive vehicle. And what do I mean by that? I mean front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, and all wheel drive have different rotating recommendations that you want to follow to get the most tread life out of your treads. So there's also, as I mentioned, there's a secret side bonus that's so much more important than the actual tire rotation that you get from rotating your tires every 5,000 miles like you should. But for right now, let's jump to the whiteboard and we'll just cover the 3 different methods of rotating your tires. All right, we're gonna start with front wheel drive. This butchered drawing right here I hope helps you out. This is your car from the top down view, and we're gonna put an F for front. So it's the front of the vehicle. So on a front wheel drive car, the rotation pattern that you want to use is run your front tires to straight back and then crisscross your rear tires. So your right rear tire will go to your left front like so, and then your back will go like so, and the front ones just go straight back. Really simple and easy. Okay, so this is your rear wheel drive. Now this is what I did on my truck this morning. Yes, it's 4-wheel drive, but it's running 95% of the time in rear wheel drive. So what we're gonna do for this is pretty much the opposite of the front wheel drive. You're gonna run your back tires straight forward, and then you're gonna crisscross your front tires. So your front right will go to the rear left, and your front left will go to rear right. So next we'll cover all-wheel drive. Okay, all-wheel drive. This one's pretty simple too. You're gonna trade places with the tires. So you're gonna swap each corner crisscross from each other. So your front right will go left rear and your left rear will go front right. Just flip-flop diagonally. And that's it. And that's pretty easy. So that covers the general pattern in which you rotate. So some things you want to keep in mind when you're rotating your tires. If you've been here for a while, you know I'm huge on safety. Make sure you're using proper jack stands, level ground, safety glasses, hearing protection, everything you need so you can fix your stuff longer. We don't need you getting injured just because you're too lazy to go get your safety glasses and it takes you away from fixing for the rest of your life. I don't want that for you, so be safe. And another thing to remember, and this is something that I didn't take seriously, when you put your lugs back on, always use the recommended torque spec for your vehicle. Go invest in a torque wrench. I think mine was less than $50 and I've used it for years. when I was younger, I didn't take this seriously, and I had a set of aluminum wheels that the lugs did work loose, and I had a really bad front end vibration, and I couldn't figure out what it was, and I got out of the truck and I was missing a few lug nuts, and it was enough to scare the hell out of me, and invest in a torque wrench and make sure my lugs are always torqued to spec. And don't just torque them once. After you drive the car for 50, 100 miles, make sure you torque them again. Rotating your tires is very simple maintenance you can do at home, and I love doing it just for the money savings. But the secret reason why I love doing it isn't just to rotate the tires, isn't to save the money. It's to be aware of my own vehicle. And again, if I'm saying this like a broken record today, if you've been around the channel for a while, I am all about vehicle awareness. I preach, before you get in your vehicle, take a trip around it, just walk around it once, look around. You just never know what's underneath the vehicle that could puncture a tire. You could run something over that could rip the oil pan open. If you're parked in a rural country driveway, most likely your vehicle hasn't been tampered with, but if you live in a city or a neighborhood, someone possibly could have done something to your vehicle, or there could be an animal under there. It's always good to just be aware of your surroundings and be aware of your vehicle. So in tire rotation, there's never going to be another time, unless you're actually doing another repair where you're taking the wheel off, that you're going to have the wheel off and be able to inspect everything that's behind the wheel. The brakes, the ball joints, the tie rod ends, everything in there. Take 2 seconds and pick your head up, look around, look in the wheel wells, look for wires that are chafing, fuel lines that are rusted. I had a rusted fuel line once. I just happened to be looking under my truck at my muffler, and I looked up and there was a pinhole leak in a fuel line, and that would have sucked if I was out on the road and that fuel line ruptured and I was 100 miles from home. So to me, the biggest benefit of rotating your tires is to have your head in those wheel wells, looking at everything that's behind the wheel, and even your tire. Once you take your tire off, roll it in front of you and scan and inspect the treads, because I've had nails that have had the head sheared off of them, but the shank of the nail is in the tire, and I have a slow air leak, and it drove me nuts for months. I had no clue what was going on, and I went to rotate my tires, and I found the shank of the nail and pulled that out, plugged it, and I was good to go, and never looked back. So if you take anything away from this video, it's get your kids out in your garage, get dirty with them, get them repairing stuff with you. Breed of people like you and me that are ready to get our hands dirty and fix stuff are dying. Pass that on to your kids. Be part of that. Yes, everything will take longer when you have your kids there repairing stuff with them, but it's hours that you'll cherish for the rest of your life with them. And secondly, awareness. Tire rotation is more about awareness than maintenance to me. It's about being aware of your vehicle, and that 5,000 mile increment is the perfect increment where you're going to catch major things before they become a problem. Even today, when I was rotating my tires on my truck, it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to have a brake job coming up before winter time in a few months, and it gets me mentally and financially prepared to do those larger, expensive repairs, and I get to do them on my time, not when they go to complete failure and then I'm screwed and I need to repair them, and I need to do the repair on the vehicle's time. Get out there, now you know how to rotate your tires. As always, I'm Jim Murphy. You can follow me between videos on Instagram, @YouBreakItYouFixIt, and I'll see you in another video. Just keep banging on stuff out there.